out again on this amazing Porto Montenegro. It's really looking so cool and it's amazing. The police is working as well already in the morning. This is Porto Montenegro and it's growing in all directions. It's amazing investment. And you see, Tivat is now a major tourism metropolis. It was very poor the first time I came here in 2002. This was actually a very poor and sad place. Now international investment, and especially this Porto Montenegro, this lighthouse tower has developed and has transformed Tivat in a tourism metropolis. True, the prices are also quite high now and things have dramatically changed in that direction, but it's also that the livelihood of the people and the development of Tivat is now much better, I would argue, than it ever was in the history of Montenegro, Tivat, or whatever kind of history in Yugoslavia or Austria or whatever, Venezia, because it is really now an international hotspot of very rich tourists as well, and everybody basically, all levels. And this is the city itself. I will try to show you the city today a bit, and I will show you also Tivat and Budva. These are the two coastal metropolis of tourism. Here, of course, in the hills, there's a lot of residential development, but also these hills with this beautiful west-facing slope towards this huge bay of Tivat. They have seen a lot of investment. Sure, infrastructure from water, waste and the road infrastructure, they definitely need a lot of things here in Tivat. The upper ring road, I'm not getting tired to mention that. The extension of the Magistrale, that is that road here over there after the Tivat airport. Absolutely, this is important to do, and this is certainly something which is absolutely necessary and doable, and I lack any understanding why it didn't happen already. The water was done with the European Union a lot already, and that's very important. Waste collection is now much better than it ever was, but of course for EU standards there needs to be a transition period and there needs to be some kind of common action plan to get this done to European levels. But see the city, it is really blossoming, developing, and it has this amazing asset that there is a lot of rain in the winter, so there's a lot of vegetation. You don't have it like in Greece where you have a long time really droughts. Here you have a regular precipitation rainfalls in the winter, and a lot of it actually, and then you have just the summer months which are really mostly without rain, a little bit of wind from time to time. There's a winter storm, but this is of course very rarely. Yes, here you have, to my best knowledge, one of the big supermarkets, and here somewhere there is the bus station, Autobus Stancija Tivat. I will continue my trip to Dubrovnik there on 2 days, but now 2 days exciting, at least to have a bit of a summer holiday on my trip back to Austria from Albania. My southernmost point was Fia, and now I'm heading back to this beautiful place. I would really love to show you the south of Albania as well, but at least I can show you at this trip some part of the coast. Probably, honestly, the most beautiful part of the coast. It is this part. When you love nautic tourism and when you have big boats, anyhow, that is then your best choice, because here there is the option to park these huge yachts. I will show you that one during the stay as well. It's very impressive. And it's big time, yeah. It's big time, and it is very nice. Yeah? Yes, I'm heading to Budva for a meeting. It will be very interesting, and then I'm going back to show you Porto Montenegro and show you this beautiful part of it. And here you see the future is very good. You have this fantastic asset, the airport. It's over there. And you have also all the infrastructure working here from Ecopetrol. It's one of the Greek Hellenium companies with a lot of issues attached, unfortunately. I wish we have Western. Now get nothing against the Greeks. Anyhow, this is the airport of Tivat here. It would be really good to have more investments and also to have some improvement of the infrastructure. I never understood why the government has not extended that road here for 4 lanes. I mean, it's an airport, and from here, when the city is basically off, you out of the city boundaries. You could easily extend that road to 4 lanes until Budva, and then from before Budva, where you have to pass on this mountain road, I will show you. Oh, some oligarchs are here as well. Wow, some good, nice 4 of the private jets. That's the lifestyle. Something people think that is appropriate. I think it's a bit exaggerated, but there is this opportunity as well if you have the necessary small change. Here comes there's, of course, this is exactly the piece I have never understood why they didn't take this courage to do these 4 lanes here, at least until the Jas beach, that's below Budva, and then you have this opportunity to, in my view, at the Jas beach, I will show you in a second, where you could so easily build a road up to the Chetinia road. I think it's not so complicated. There is an old road already, and then all the traffic which is coming from Podgorica to the Kota Bay, into the Tivat airport, into this amazing port of Montenegro, they wouldn't have to go and then via Budva, which is always blocked, and there's always a traffic jam in Budva. You can be basically sure about it, especially in the evening, especially in the mornings. It is always a traffic jam. Maybe in the mornings less, but when it's about beach time, there is a traffic jam. When it's about going out, there's a traffic jam. There's always a traffic jam in these beautiful places. Yeah, it would be easy, I think so. That's the outskirt of the airport, and now I will show you the road to Budva. You know, all these coastal metropolises have infrastructure issues attached, but they are absolutely fascinating and beautiful. There is here in this one of the big resorts. I will not be able to show you this one at the Lustiger Bay, this JD resort, but it's very beautiful, trust me. It's amazing. This Egyptian group has invested in that one. They are, I forgot for the moment what is this Egyptian big industry. Yeah, anyhow. And then there's Porto Novo with the Azeris, and of course the United Arab. This is JD Hotel, very good. And you see some smaller, this is the road basically. It's not very far to go. You have here the mountain road, and on that side you have Kota in the back. You have the access road to Kota, and there they made a tunnel already to Kota, and it's very logical to do. There's other different, very good, Porto Montenegro. It's not exactly my style to make holiday, but you have also the necessary small change. The night in one of these hotels costs already, whatever, 450 euros. In my apartment you have to pay 50 euros. Yeah? So 50 euros for a night, I think it's appropriate. 450 euros, I think it's a bit too much. But okay, you get wonderful things for that. And here you have the construction material area. This is the residential zone of Tivat, and there is, of course, water transport. Many of the houses need water to be transported up to their places. There's no doubt. You have cisterna. There's water crisis here in the whole of the coastal area, and much needs to be done, and much needs to be invested to get this done. This is one of the new shopping centers. I've never been. It looks very nice. Yes. Wow. Very good. So things are definitely improving. There's a lot of property investment, obviously, small scale, big scale. Everybody in property who is not. That's the idea, to buy ships, rent ships. Beautiful. That's of course very amazing. There's one smaller commercial site up there, probably a quarry or something like that. I was not aware. And that was actually that's basically the upper ring road. The logic is here the same, to build a road in the mountains. That's what Montenegro always have done. Now they do it very well. They have also connected now, for example, Niksic with Chetinia, which was a major investment. They have done a lot actually in internal communications, but the essential parts and bits here at the coast, I don't know, would be good. But now with EU accession looming, I think much of these things will be more rational, and there will be much more joint infrastructure planning, at least. That's always my illusionary hope. But it will come. It will come in all direction. It will be very good. interesting, and I'm optimistic to see some of these opportunities here. A lot of land. This is basically the land in between. But you see also the regional poverty. It's unfortunate. Yeah, the systematic regional development has not happened in Montenegro up to now. There is always this kind of luxury-driven and kind of investment-driven development. You need systematic Austrian-style regional development of all the region on a systemic, asymmetric, I have said, federalism, regional development agencies, not only the central big things, yeah, which the investors are interested, but everybody must be participating in the development of the country, and that can only happen under European regional development parameters, and that's why the membership is so important and will continue to be so important. Yeah, life is not a gigantic yacht party, but the people driving by bus and who are basically in this normal situation have also to be well taken care of. Here a lot of people park their cars for the summer for 3 days €1. You can keep the car here, but obviously it's not very economically rational to park a car for 10 months and expect it's working after 10 months. It's much better to rent a car. Also, when you don't have a lot of time, buying property is not the best idea, as we all learn when we get older. Good, you do your things over time and you learn, and wisdom is a painful learning process over time. Anyhow, it's very beautiful here. I'm looking forward for the meeting which I will have. I just want to share always on this podcast also some of the driving impressions. It's absolutely possible from Vienna to drive here. It's absolutely no problem. It just would be better if the North-South highway would be ready as well. I'm just thinking aloud why this is not happening is a mystery. Why this government has not listened to me and has built a highway to Kolashin, which is still today is not ready, is an absolute mystery for me. One of the big examples where you allocate €1 billion in something which is spectacular, but the logic of Montenegro is to connect with Croatia and Albania, and for this €1 billion, the highway along the coast, not exactly at the coast, from Trebinje in Bosnia to Nikšić, Podgorica, Hanihoti to Škodra, I think it would probably not be ready. That is maybe $1.5 billion or maybe even a bit more, but it would be almost ready. And imagine what a touristic asset that would be, and what a kind of relief for the coast, which brings most of the money. And just a very few people will go for winter tourism in Kolashin, and very few people actually go on the summer from Serbia to this is the traditional place of the past, but now the Serbs have a lot of other touristic opportunities, and as well the trade with Belgrade will be minimal, and it will take years and years to finish this highway because of the financial constraints. And nevertheless, the real pressure on to build the Croatian Albanian highway via Montenegro is mounting, and so yeah. Anyhow, this is some of the things you cannot understand when you are rational, and it's something which I really cannot understand. So nevertheless, it is here spectacular. This is the road towards Budva. Here on both sides there is just greenery, and it would have been no problem to extend it, but they have not extended any of it. And one part of the facts is as well that the infrastructure development and the public investment was very much driven centralistically in the past years. So it's Budva and it is Podgorica, and so then Kolashin. This is the direction line bar, this kind of level. It's also connected with the election results, and as many of the voters of the Serb opposition parties are living in the coastal areas, especially between Budva and Herceg-Novi, they feel neglected, and for a reason they feel neglected, because from Budva onwards, the infrastructure and public investment in the last 20 years, not exactly 20 years now, 16 years of independence, they have been a little bit yes, how can I say, limited, to say the least. Yeah. So the things are as they are, and we could have achieved many things if there would be more cohesion, and the investment would have been very logically and not so complicated to do ultimately. Yeah. And so this is the way. And yeah, here this is again my recommendation to build the extended to 4 lanes, and below that you see the mountain over there, and then on the right, on the seaside side, the traditional road which we will take leads into Budva, and that's very good and it's wonderful. But then you see obviously that left of that hill it would be easy to build the upward ring road towards the upper Chetinia Budva road. It's not exactly €1 billion, it's actually whatever, with 30 million you would have done it, and it's something absolutely in the capacity of this government to do it. And I would be so happy if Triton would fix the many small things and leave all these controversial big things for the future, because they will destabilize this government and it will be falling, and that's not what I want actually, just to make that very clear. I don't wish him a lot of success, but I have to strengthen his resolve to be a bit better than he is at the moment. Yes, another 10 minutes here in Budva will be interesting. Billboards for rent, and here we are entering already the so-called Chas beach area. That's a really wonderful part of that town. And then going here, and that beauty. Here basically this is my goal. Here to go up and to build a road directly to the upper ring road. I mean, okay, nothing is easy in Montenegro. That's why I call also for these massive European investment packages. But the logic is very simple. Up there is the road Chetinia Budva on the other side. I shown you on this podcast already. You can refer to that one. And it's just up there. I understand it's easier, and traditionally the Yugoslavian engineers, they built along the hill on the coastal side. It slopes easily and it is a good way to do it. But look at it, you can do a similar thing here in that one. Maybe you need a tunnel, I'm sure about it, and it's expensive thing. But here at the Idea Supermarkt you build a nice roundabout and you do a similar magistrale on the left to the Chetinia road, and life is good. And then you extend everything with 4 lanes from the start, and you have the Chetinia Tivat road beautifully ready. And when there is any obstacle for that plan, I'm most happy to learn it, but I cannot understand that one. Good, we are close to Budva now. Chas beach, it's a wonderful place as well. If you love beaches, of course Montenegro is fantastic, and that's one of the nicest. And here we are heading into, let's see already the mountains above Budva. Budva is a big metropolis, obviously. It's very wonderful. And here is a lot of Ukrainians now living, I was told. They have permanently or semi-permanently moved here. Many have also bought some houses, and they have basically then transformed Budva a bit during the war. And it's of course fantastic. The linguistic it's quite easy to adopt your Ukrainian into Montenegrin language. It's absolutely doable within weeks that you adopt your language, and then you have this beautiful beach metropolis. Your family is in safety, your money is stored here, and actually the prices are rising, what I hear indirectly. One of the effects of the war in Ukraine, of the Russian aggression, is that property prices in Belgrade, in Budva, in Antalya are huge traffic jam, especially after 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock. This is the time when people leave the beach and then they start the nightlife. And here, yesterday I showed you when I went here, it was so full. And that's of course not very pleasant to spend 2 hours a day in the car. And now here the sea, it's amazing, it's beautiful. That's the famous Just Beach. It's very, very beautiful. And you see the massive beauty of this country. Is it the most beautiful country in the world? That's difficult to say, but it is amazing. There's no doubt here. And I love it. Yes. What a place. Absolutely stunning, wonderful, beautiful. And this is Montenegro at its best. I love it. It should be in European Union, I have no doubt. It will be. But it must be as well, because look, the infrastructure on all levels is simply amazingly expensive to build something here. And building must be done in all directions. It's of course easy to say you need to do more, but obviously it's not just the touristic things. This can be done by the private investor, but the big infrastructure things have to be done by the European Union, because how to do the railways, if you're a small country, how to do the wastewater treatment and the water supply treatments, how to do that, how to build the big highways. Then the Chinese have to jump in and the country is in a debt crisis. This is not why we have Europe. We have Europe to do things together, and Montenegro is no longer alone. And inside the EU you can fix all these things, and that's the logic of it. So all this major next level kind of infrastructure can be done together very successfully. Now Budva, we have reached it almost. This is the road, and you see how beautiful it is. It's for me one of the best touristic towns. Okay, I have also Tivat, Kotor, Montenegro, Peast. There is no limit on places I love here. This is absolutely amazing. Montefish, they say that's a good investment opportunities as well. Not so much into the fish business. Yes, wow, they have really built very high here. You see this amazing metropolis. It's not like Batumi. Don't get me wrong, Batumi is completely different. It's not Las Vegas here. Actually, it's very pleasant development. The people who are complaining about the density, they have not been in Las Vegas or in Batumi. You know, you think this is high? Go to Batumi. It's just a third of the height of the Batumi towers in Georgia. So actually I'm much more for higher towers, but good. If you keep it like this. And up there's the Chetini Road, and the logic is very simple. You cut over there, you connect on the, instead of going everybody into Budva and blocking that country with a lot of transit from Albania to Kosovo, from Kosovo diaspora to Kosovo, with a lot of international trucks and traffic, and everybody who is going to the airport to Podgorica and the whole Kota Bay traffic, everybody has to go to Budva center. Why? Guys, we are in 2022. Open Montenegro for decent infrastructure, not for Serbia. I mean, guys, anyhow, yeah, who can understand that? It's a very beautiful town. I love it. It's perfection. It's very nice. Very good. Yeah, that's Budva. Fantastic. Good, that was my road video for the road between Budva and Tivat. More to come here from this beautiful town. Please visit Montenegro in 2022. It's a wonderful country.